واعتصموا بحبل الله جميعا ولا تفرقوا واذكروا نعمة الله عليكم إذ كنتم أعداء فألف بين قلوبكم فأصبحتم بنعمته إخوانا وكنتم على شفا حفرة من النار فأنقذكم منها كذلك يبين الله لكم آياته لعلكم تهتدون.
Hold fast to God's rope all together. Do not split into factions. Remember God's favor to you. You were enemies, and then He brought your hearts together, and you became brothers by His grace. You were about to fall into a pit of fire, and He saved you from it. In this way, God makes His revelations clear to you so that you may be rightly guided.
25 years ago, a call for unity in Chicago took root, and the Council of Islamic Organizations of Greater Chicago was formed. Today, CIOGC represents over 500,000 Muslims spanning the spectrum of races, ethnicities, and nationalities across the Greater Chicago area. In following the injunctions of our Creator, our unity stems from purpose, design, and action.
CIOGC mission is to unite, represent, empower, and lead the Muslim community in Chicago.
Our great mosques provide the unity at the neighborhood level. The Council of Islamic Organizations brings all the mosques together, and the Islamic schools and charity organizations and service organizations to bring unity at the metropolitan level.
By removing barriers, we provide a platform to meet, to listen, and to learn.
The CIOGC House of Representatives has a membership based upon the nature of the organization and the size of the organization. So it is a grassroots organization, unlike any other Islamic organization in the Chicago area.
The results of CIOGC initiatives over the past 25 years are reflected in our accomplishments. CIOGC guides members on board development and government compliance through seminars, workshops, and lectures. We have served as a bridge between our member organizations and law enforcement, bringing much-needed sensitivity training to these agencies.
This is like a sensitivity training that I believe every police department in every city needs to have, because they need to know when they enter the mosque what etiquettes we follow and what protocols we Muslims have.
Today, more than ever, it is important to build relationships with our neighbors through events like Open Mosque Day. We welcome our neighbors to visit our mosques, to learn about our faith, and to debunk myths about Islam and Muslims. Timely communications and information sharing connects us to our members and to Chicagoland. Beyond Chicago, CIOGC has taken initiatives with our legislators to help all Illinoisans. For example, promoting and enrolling uninsured children through the government-funded health insurance program KidCare. And we do this because all children are precious. Eid is a time of celebration and joy, and CIOGC works to make this a celebration for the whole community. It has been a big treat for our youth. Relationship building is another area of our focus. CIOGC has forged strong working relationships with many of the faith traditions spanning Chicagoland, which have led to increased understanding between our faiths.
Islam looks to the good of everyone, and you see that manifested in all kinds of initiatives that the Council has taken. And sometimes we can cooperate in those very practical ways, the anti-violence initiatives to help the poor positively, and sometimes we do them separately, but we know what is going on, and I'm very grateful for it.
Interfaith is something that is very important for our community, especially when it's grounded in social justice, but also people who will be there as our partners, as people who continue to advocate for the same ideas, the same values, the same policies that we hold dear as Muslims.
And so when we think about, is interfaith work necessary or needed, the answer is obvious. It's vital.
Because of these relationships, CIOGC has become a member of the interfaith-based organization, Council of Religious Leaders of Metropolitan Chicago. CIOGC facilitates being a good neighbor and active citizen through civic engagement. As Muslims, we rise to the occasion, and at CIOGC, we do just that.
Chicago has the highest youth homicide rate in the country. Too many of these children who are killed and who are the killers are disenfranchised children who have been thrown away by our society. And we, as people of faith, have a responsibility to come to the aid of these children before they commit a crime.
Collaborating with social justice agencies such as ICER and United Power, CIOGC joins hands to amplify the voice for social justice. Islamophobia, immigration reform, neighborhood violence, and affordable housing are just a few of the many social justice issues we fight for. Connecting with our youth is an ongoing priority, whether through our annual Muslim Youth Expo, MSA discussion groups, or our Senate Page program. We strive to reach and engage our leaders of tomorrow.
My experience was phenomenal, especially because I did this 2 years in a row. The first year, I had a Democratic senator. I saw how a bill was passed. We talked about healthcare. We talked about some other issues. The second year, however, I shadowed a Republican senator, and let's just say that year I realized how important it is for Muslims to start engaging politically.
The Senate Page program is a vital tool in the Muslim community's youth in getting them involved and making sure that they understand that there's so much that they can do if they just try.
Alhamdulillah, our success can be attributed to the legacy of leadership that the CIOGC has enjoyed and the vision this leadership has provided.
Thank God there was an entity like Council of Islamic Organization which can articulate a response on behalf of Muslims, advise Muslims what they need to be doing, and connect with media and our neighbors and law enforcement. So suddenly a role came into being which seems the organization was designed for.
We gathered in November in Navy Pier, a significant number in support of the Muslim community and support in living together, and telling them that the Muslims are no different from other communities. They care about the community at large, and they care about their children, their job.
The ability to have councils such as the Chicago Council of Islamic Organizations in different regions across the nation, and then pulling them all together under one larger federation of Islamic organizations so that collectively the Muslim Americans have a voice. I think we'll be doing our communities and America a great service.
Whether you are in the traffic committee in your mosque or the chairman of the largest organization of Chicago, the goal is the same, which is satisfying your God and serving your community.
CIOGC has heard the call of the community for a campsite to deepen faith and to renew the mind, body, and soul. We have witnessed the growth of camping and scouting amongst our youth. So looking ahead, the board wishes to begin the process of owning our own campsite for the youth and the youth at heart.
One of the interests of CIOGC is something that one community cannot achieve, which is having a Muslim campsite for families, and of course non-Muslims would be also welcomed. But we want people around Chicago area to be together from various ethnic communities, various backgrounds, and we're not jumping into this. We are going to do a study first.
In response to the many calls of requests from our neighbors to learn more about Islam, the Council has responded with a new idea.
So one of the areas that we are considering and doing some feasibility study on is having a traveling Muslim civilization museum where artifacts would be gathered and chosen, and the museum would have a professional staff.
CIOGC remains a steady force in responding to the needs of our community, whether those needs are critical to the community's development or the urgent needs of the moment. CIOGC's work is done with the overarching objective, as succinctly stated by Tasneem Osmani.
I would like to see Muslims being represented as part of the American fabric of society, and Islam recognized as a mainstream religion.
We offer our work and accomplishments as testimony of our commitment to unity through diversity. United we stand, united we succeed.